I love it when we're cruising together. What? Smokey Robinson and the Miracles. Just setting the mood for this morning, Andy. Jeez. I mean, I love me some Motown, you know? It was badass growing up in Detroit in the height of the Motown era. Music culture of the 60s, Detroit. We've covered it all before, how cool it was. It is not cool this morning. It is Monday, August 28th. And it appears, like I'm saying, Andy, the heat wave is continuing. There's somewhere's got to be else somewhere to move than here. I mean, in the winter, it's 40 below. In the summer, it's 140. Isn't there somewhere in the United States that is like temperate, like it's room temperature all year around? You would think. Boy, Monday. It's August 28th, Andy. As Jim Morrison would say, summer's almost gone. And August, dog days August are gone. But it's still heat wave. Football of all different shapes and sizes started this past weekend and will continue to start for the next 2 weeks. This weekend we got Pee Wee kicking off. We got, didn't we get some junior high games? And we definitely got some high school AA games. Missoula Sentinel and Great Falls CMR both win. College started this weekend, sorta. Andy, sorta. You had Notre Dame whooping up on Navy over in Dublin, Ireland. They played there, 2012? And USC had a little surprising shootout with the San Jose State. Don't forget, USC is supposed to have the Heisman quarterback, which I don't think. I think that we are looking at J.J. McCarthy from Michigan, but I'm a Michigan homer. Got the Michigan hockey championship shirt on. I watched a little of the Jets-Giants preseason game. Rodgers looked so-so. He's 39. He didn't get hurt. You know, the fans were like, what the hell? You got to be in the game. Didn't get hurt. So we'll see. Season starts NFL in 2 weeks. Michigan's run for the national championship starts next Saturday. We will be in full swing. Go Blue. Hail to the victor. What? No hail? No hail. Last week we had, was it last week? Freaky news. It was hot. It was, they still can't find people in Hawaii. It was it was hot. And we had a couple big things going on, and I mean, that's a really understatement. President Joe Biden was at a memorial/speaking event thing over in Hawaii. News cameras there, press is there. He promptly nodded off. He was Joe, wake up! You need a cup, Joe. You're trying to convince me that Biden is seriously running this country with all the interference that I've seen with Kamala and his wife and Secret Service. Seriously, I mean, he's really bumbling his way to the end zone. Well, like I said, the whole staff runs interference. I mean, come on. Can you say elder abuse? And I've covered that before. I've covered that. I've talked about his age. He's 80 now, okay? The Republican, Trump, I think he's 77, which would be make him what? 78, 79, 8 when he'd get to be the president. He'd be into his 80s if... But Biden, he's always... I've said this before. You ever seen Skeletor? You know, he's all unsure and unsteady, and you know, and he's just like I said, Andy. He ain't running this country. No, he's not. No, he's not, man. I've worked at the senior centers. I've worked with seniors. Okay, no, he's not. When you're 80, you should be like, not trying to be the president. And on the flip side, what was it, Thursday? On the flip side of the Biden coin has got the mugshot. Dun, 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 dun! The mugshot! Da 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 ba 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 ba. What? Why am I singing the dating game? Ba ba. Did you see the mugshot? Looked like. I know. This is the choice we have. Two elderly men who will be in their 80s. Seriously? You don't think other people are watching in the world and thinking, look, half the country wants this old man, this guy that's like should be in the senior home, and the other half of the country wants this guy who's old too, but he's like got like, what is it, 900 indictments? Everybody's watching, laughing. Picture's not good, in my opinion. So now we have, what, Andy, 4 indictments on the former president? 4 different, separate indictments. Holy shnikes! And with the former president facing multiple felonies, federal, state, he continues to flood the airwaves and social media with continued, do I call it misinformation, Andy? Can I? And statements about his defeat. He honestly can't be. I think it's part of an effect to undermine the public confidence in the American electoral election system, Andy, you know? And which I've said all along, that's what the whole goal was, is that if you can get people questioning the process, and he's the constant victim. It's always happening to him, whether it be the recount on the votes, the election, the casinos, the television shows, university. They've all had the problems, but the hotel, good one, to no fault of his own. Clothing line book, good one again. So why don't we talk about the election, just cover it again a little bit. about some facts. That's a fact, Jack! Why? Stripes, Bill Murray. That, All right. Why do I have to keep explaining this stuff to people? Biden's victory over Trump wasn't really particularly close at all. No, Andy, it wasn't. He won the electoral vote with 306 to Trump's 232, and the popular vote by more than 7 million. So, because the Electoral College, and not the popular vote, ultimately decides the presidency, Al Gore! Al Gore! Al Gore. Let's, the battleground states in question. Let's talk about the battleground states. Remember these. Now, according to the information that we saw Thursday that was released, and then we've seen the last indictment. Allegedly, the Trump administration, or a small unit of people, they worked in cahoots with these states. You had like 8 states. And they're keeping it a secret. 4 states? 7 states? Andy, are you nuts? Bill Clinton was in a room by himself with Monica Lewinsky. Hey, baby, nobody will know. And you're in front of Congress. And you're telling me 8 states went in cahoots together? Surely you just, after 6-month investigation in Arizona, in the Maricopa County, as I get it, Maricopa, the biggest county in Arizona, they reviewed the ballots. A commissioned by the Republican legislature group of people not only confirmed and affirmed Biden's victory, but they found another 306, Andy, or 306 more votes. Look at that. Arizona, Maricopa, 306 votes more for Biden. So the Republicans said, no, they've thrown it. Let's count it again 18 times. Oh, Biden got more votes. Georgia legislation, and their governor, and the attorney general redirected Biden's victory after 3, count them, 3 recounts. Who pays for this, Andy? Who pays for the staff to recount and recount and recount? They don't do it for free. Michigan, my home state, a Republican-led committee found no dead people. No dead people voted, like the movie Black Sheep with Chris Farley. A vote for Donnelly. And David Spade. Took them 9 months, Andy, 9 months, taxpayers' money. The Detroit proper was targeted by the Trump administration because it carried the state, because that's kind of how urban areas work. There's kind of more people live in urban areas than the rest of the state. Look at Montana. Your 5, 6, biggest cities account for how much of our population? A lot is a understatement. Okay? They also targeted, the Trump administration also targeted other metro areas with a large black Latino population across the country. Nevada, yeah, Nevada was in on it. The Republicans reviewed tens of thousands, Andy. Tens of thousands possible fraud, found 10 instances where tens of thousands. Give me a number, Andy. 13,500 investigated, found 10. Of those 10, half were wrong address, so that brings us down to 5. 2, they forgot to sign. That's a good. Pennsylvania. I know, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, Republican efforts to overturn the Pennsylvania election. They just went to the courts. They said, "The hell with it." They went to they went to the courts first. They went to state, federal, both courts. Even the Trump-appointed judge said, "What are you, nuts?" Okay. Now the Pennsylvania Republicans are reviewing their reviewing process. Andy, did I get that right? They are reviewing the reviewing process at taxpayers' money. Remember, you voted them all in, so, it's your fault, okay? You voted them. Their recount in Pennsylvania found Biden's victory. They found 2,000 more votes in Pennsylvania. I don't know. You wanted it. You guys wanted them. What matters, what comes out is that the former President Trump was repeatedly advised by members of his own administration, including Ivanka, his daughter, that there was really no evidence of any kind of widespread fraud. Not in the scale that you're saying that 8 states worked together and we all kept it a secret and nobody knows, and suitcases of ballots and dead people, and it's just flabbergasting sometimes to me. But, it just is. 9 days after the election, the United States Federal Cybersecurity, what are they? The Cybersecurity Agency? Who the freak are these people, Andy? The Federal Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security. Are they investigating us? No. Are you sure? No. Okay. They investigated it and issued a statement that the November 3rd election was the most secure in United States history. Less than 3 weeks later, then Attorney General, William Barr, declared that a justice investigation had not even covered a little bit of evidence of widespread voter fraud. That's important. Because the former president has claimed that tens of thousands of voters committed widespread fraud across several states. Well, isn't that convenient? I mean, come on. Okay. I know it's not popular like half the people, but I don't like Sleepy Joe either. Taking naps and people in Hawaii, it's like people in Hawaii died and all of a sudden you could hear It's like, holy shit, Joe. The former president and his backers pursued numerous legal challenges to the election in court and alleged voter misconduct, voter fraud, conspiracy. The cases were heard, routinely rejected by both state federal courts. Lack of evidence, lack of this, lack of that, including judges, like I said, that judges that Trump appointed. What? No, yeah. One of them, Andy, was U.S. 11th Citric Circuit. There's an electric circuit. U.S. Circuit Judge Stefanos Bybas. He was a federal panel appointed by Trump that declined to stop Pennsylvania as part of Pennsylvania's like some of the other states. No, we're not going to accept it. Marjorie's bleeding Lauren Bobbins. We're not going to accept it. It's all lies. He ruled, saying in part that voters, not lawyers, choose the president's ballots, not briefs, decide elections. Many of the claims, Andy, seriously, many of his claims and his team said was, thrown out, it's like, it's just thrown out and they're all like, well, the machines did it. It's like, what? The machines? Machine Head by Deep Purple? Or maybe Rage Against the Machine? Or the Terminator machines? What machines? Trump, then machines. I just had to do. Come on, man. They alleged that the voting machines were built now in Venezuela at the direction of President Hugo Chavez, who died in 2013. And Trump administration claimed that the machines were designed to flip votes cast for the president Trump to Biden. So if the machines were built in 2000, if he died in 2013, how would he know that in 2020 who was running? He was a miracle vision seeker, time walker. How would they know? And then they alleged what? That the U.S. Army, 101st Airborne, it sees a computer server. I've explained servers to the audience before, and everybody, the viewers, and all my, how a server works. But they allegedly found a server in Germany. It had secrets, held secrets to the U.S. election. Of course, a joint statement and separate statements released by the United States Army, the CIA, Bureau of Foreign Affairs, Germany are like, what? We didn't find the what? The 101st Edward did what? They found the who? Where? It was a server full of porn, probably. Nonetheless, Andy, guess what? All these claims were broadcast every night. By Fox News. Yep. And both the members of the Trump team, as well as by some of the networks and on-air personalities, blamed Dominion. And Dominion sued. Yep, they sued Fox Network for $1.6 billion, claiming the defamation by Fox. They won. People will say, oh, they didn't win. They settled. Fox settled for half. What? Records. They had records that were released, and they in the courtroom of internal communications of Fox News. It showed that the network aired the claims, even though that the notes and emails suggested that their biggest stars, including Sean Hannity, Tucker Carlson, even the chairman and CEO, did not believe the claims of a fake election. So when you say fake news, that's a classic example. They didn't believe it. They ordered it anyway. So over the weekend, I just wanted to cover this because, Andy, Georgia, it's all hooks to Georgia now. Well, Georgia filed the RICO Act, which means all the crimes together. So over the weekend, now the former, over the weekend, the RICO means that they worked in cahoots. In other words, Giuliani, the press secretaries, everybody knew that it was not true. They just spun it anyway. Over the weekend, the former President Trump returned to social media site X. Isn't that the weirdest shit you've ever heard? X. X marks the spot. Huh. It's triple X, man. Double X. He posted on Friday his mugshot, appealing for donations from his supporters. A billionaire asking his working class supporters for money. He's a billionaire, you people that send him your money. Let that sink in. What? Andy, I didn't say grifter, you just did. Reports are he's raised $7.1 million to his PAC since his arrest. What's the PAC? The PAC is a presidential action committee where donors can donate money, but a PAC can't pay for a legal defense unless that legal defense relates to some political event. Okay, so if he was being sued for someone slipping on his floor, he couldn't use PAC money. If he was needing lawyers to help fight claims that he is an election, and claimed fraud, and now he's in court, then he can use that money. So I find it crazy that people are donating, Andy. I mean, they really are. They're like, here, more money. It's like it's going to his legal fund. God dang. I mean, it's going to his legal fund. It's not going to, anything but his lawyers. That's $7.1 million since Thursday. It's Monday the 28th, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Phew, man. What did Elon do with freaking Twitter? Now it's X. It's just, is it seriously X? Well, the note that you sent me about X, and we were talking about the Rodgers played for the Jets, but yeah, all that money for the pack, yeah, it's nuts. X, what the hell is X? What the hell did you come up? Yeah, let's get on to X. Yeah, I see that. Andy's just sending it to me now. In case you're wondering, also over the weekend, and Andy's sending me Danica Patrick, former NASCAR driver Danica Patrick, feet pics. Why is Andy sending me Danica Patrick feet pics? Well, first of all, she does have cute feet. And second of all, she posted over the weekend numerous pictures, barefoot, toenails painted red, toe rings, showing her arches off. To the numerous fans who love my feet postings, quote unquote, you're welcome. Thank you, Danica. She says you're welcome. We got a whole bunch. She's all over X too. Andy, in my opinion, I'd rather see her on X than I would see the former president. But that's just my opinion. This weekend it was warm, but this weekend was National Dog Day. And how did they celebrate National Dog Day in Great Falls? The drool in the pool. And in case you don't know what the drool in the pool is, they take the big municipal pool in the city pool in Great Falls, and they close it down, and the only people that can go there are people with dogs, people who love dogs, and dog-related stuff. It was pretty cool. We got to get some pictures and see. That was on Facebook, but not X. So you had Trump and Danica Patrick's feet on X, drool in the pool on Facebook. And it was so cool. The dogs everywhere, barking. They're having a great time. Also, Sunday. When I wind up the show, I always say spay and neuter and adopt and shop. And the reason I say that is because when I was growing up, I used to watch Truth or Consequences, and I used to watch The Price is Right. And not only did I grow up in a family that had dogs and loved dogs and respect dogs, but I watched Bob Barker. And I try every week to do that. Do you remember that? Do you realize that Bob Barker, did the Miss America pageant, and Miss America pageant used to give away fur coats to the girls. And Bob said, well, either that goes or I go. Well, Bob no longer did that. He went to Price is Right, and at Price is Right, they also had fur coats. And what did Bob do? Absolutely. He said, it's got to go. And Price is Right said, you're right, Bob. So, the weekend drool in the pool and National Dog Day, and then Bob Barker dying, it's like, it's pretty, it just seems like, all came at once. I know, Andy, it seems like we lose them just boom, boom, boom. So, Andy, we're done? We're good. Andy says we're good. So, it's Monday. It's going to be hot today, tomorrow, and then we're going to have cooler Wednesday, Thursday, and it'll be a gazillion degrees by Saturday. As our mentor and Bob Barker would say, spay and neuter out there, adopt, don't shop, foster, rescue, empty the shelters, save them all, and hey what, people, go on and adopt a shelter pet today. Until next week, we will see you in September. That's right, Andy. We are out of here, everybody. Thanks.